Howdy folks. In today's quick video, we'll be taking a look at the HP Pro Mini 400G9 mini desktop PC. This is not an in-depth review. This is just going to be a quick look at it because at least on this model, this is the Intel 13th Gen CPU. The prices are going down. And if you need a mini PC, whether for basic office work or basic functions for somebody that does just, kind of email browsing, etc., this is a really good possible option to consider. In the front, we have two USB-A ports, one USB-C, 3.5mm jack, and the power button. In the back, we do have two display ports, one HDMI and USB-A port, along with Ethernet port in the back. This machine is also capable of doing Wi-Fi. So again, with my configuration, it is Wi-Fi 6E that does support 802.11ax. So in the box, we have the Wi-Fi, we have the M.2 drive, at the bottom there, and then under the fan, if we remove that, pretty simple, easy to remove. It just slides in. We do have the RAM slot. This is one of them is used, and then the other one is free. In this specific configuration, it is only 8 gigs of RAM, but again, depending on the functions for a basic machine that doesn't do too much, that is still sufficient. In this case, this is going to be used. It's already installed on a Windows 11 machine. Noise-wise, it's super good. You hear the fan, but it's very quiet. Again, in a quiet room, you can barely hear it, but you can still hear it. But if you have any other noise around the machine, it's very quiet. In the BIOS, we do have access to it. There were some articles online that I was reading prior to purchasing this one just to see what the heck's going on, since there were some folks reporting that they can't get into the BIOS, that HP is locking them out. At least for this machine, that was not the case. Obviously, if BIOS is locked out, that would not be acceptable, but that's not the case in my situation. I was able to navigate it, again, make any changes that we need to, select the appropriate settings that we need to do. Again, it's not super advanced BIOS, considering it as a mini PC. You're not going to be able to do a whole bunch of tuning, but for the things that you do need to be able to do within BIOS, you're able to do that. The M.2 drive that I got in my setup was the Western Digital 256 capacity M.2 drive. Using the test results here, I'm just going to speed up through this Crystal Disk utility so we don't sit here forever, but I did a 1 gig test, and for the read, we essentially got 4,037 megabytes per second, and then for write, for sequential, we got 1,948 megabytes per second, so a pretty decent result. I have done a bit of stress testing this machine, even though, again, it's not designed to be doing a whole bunch of workloads all the time. That's not what it's designed for. So I did a 100% CPU load blended test, and we got just to monitor the temperatures. In this specific test, again, I only ran it for 3 minutes at 100% just to see how things go. We will, as we expect to, we'll see some throttling happening because again, it's a mini PC. There is not a lot of cooling options that the system can go through. But nonetheless, the machine still performed decent, I would say. We got up to 69 degrees for the high mark on the CPU. Again, running 100% blended test. And we've seen some moderate throttling, but still, again, for the basic functions of this machine's design, acceptable for what it is. Playing 4K videos on YouTube. In this case, I'm going to use my own 4K video so that I don't get a copyright strike from anyone else. But I was able to do several tests of 4K videos. It was able to play 4K videos fine. In the very few seconds when you just start playing 4K videos, I have noticed it's going to do a little bit of dropped frames, but that's going to be a very low number of frames, and then it stays consistently fine after that. That number would go a little higher if you're doing 4K 60 frames per second and HDR. I've seen a few more drop frames here and there, so I think it will just depend on the video, but overall it was able to play 4K videos fine without an issue. Now, playing 4K videos and also doing screen recording, that's where I did get it to bottleneck, and then it would just not be able to perform. So if I will play 4K videos that are 60 frames per second HDR videos and also try to do a screen recording of it at the same time, then yes, it would bottleneck and it would freeze. It would not be able to do that at that point. Again, it's a mini PC with integrated graphics cards, so the limited capability there, we're definitely going to match it in that scenario. But otherwise, it was able to play 4K videos, and just as a reminder, you do get two display ports and an HDMI port, so this system is designed for a multi-monitor setup. So overall, this machine does what it's intended to do. Again, this is a very basic machine. In my basic setup, it has Windows 11 Pro. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is not a lot. But again, for basic functions for a family member that just needs to do basic browsing, emails, movies, videos, etc., without any advanced work power necessary, no reason to get a much more powerful machine. So in those kind of cases, office work, etc., it does its job. It does its job well. Longevity wise, as always, that is something that is to be determined. But from the core functionality of what it's meant to do, what it's designed to do, I think it will be able to achieve that. And that completes our quick look at this setup. I hope you have found it helpful and beneficial. If you have any items to add or any comments, please add them in the video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.